In our last class, we talked about the fandom practices of international fans who, through their fandom of East Asian pop culture, are learning about East Asia. But in today's class, what we're going to address is local fandom practices, because my students last year said we didn't have enough content on fandom. So Wikipedia says that fan studies is an academic discipline that analyzes fans, fandoms, fan cultures, and fan activities, including fan works, that it is an interdisciplinary field located at the intersection of humanities and social sciences, and that it emerged in the early 1990s and draws particularly on audience studies and cultural studies. I agree with all that. I think it's an excellent definition. Now, Fisk says fandom, then, is a peculiar mix of cultural determinations. On the one hand, it is an intensification of popular culture, which is formed outside and often against official culture. On the other, it expropriates and reworks certain values and characteristics of that official culture to which it is opposed. Let me explain more about Fisk. When we talk about academic study of fandom, there are two really, really large, important scholars who kind of got fandom studies going. And the earlier one is John Fisk, and I uploaded one of his book chapters as an optional reading. And then slightly later is Henry Jenkins. And I'm not going to explain this whole slide. Actually, I already did once, and it took too much time. But basically, here we have two people who said, stop discounting fans. What fans do is actually really interesting and really complex. And when you read almost anything related to fandom, you'll find that they cite either Fisk or Jenkins somewhere in their article. Kind of the two main ideas that they have, Fisk talks about textual poaching, where fans poach meaning and resist dominant ideology through creative interpretation of the pop culture text. Tends to think of fans as resisting hegemonic interpretations, hegemonic commercial imperatives in pop culture. So he's really fans are empowered. Fandom is cultural resistance. Fandom is very creative. Interesting scholar. And then Jenkins talked about fandom as participatory culture and really leaned into the idea of convergence culture, which is where we have media flows from different platforms, and fans are moving these media flows and circulating on what they are interested in. So fans have the power to make something popular, and fans are circulating their meaning of the pop culture text. So he really empowered fans as being part of making the meaning of the pop culture product. So instead of saying they're resisting a hegemonic meaning, he said, they're part of making a meaning. And so very, very interesting studies in the last 5 years. There are definitely people who've criticized both of these scholars and said that they didn't go as far as they should have in terms of seeing how fandom can reinforce dominant ideologies. And fandom does need to pay more attention to inequalities. I have previously talked with my students about fandom practices that develop from local culture and reflect local concerns. And of course, those fandom practices practices can then be transformed and be exported along with the pop culture. So I talk about this in more detail in my YouTube video, Idol Fandom in Korea, and I'll try to remember to link that below. But in that video, I talk about the evolution of online fan communities in Korea that developed traditions like fan clubs with colors and fan names and light sticks and fan chants and homepage masters and all that kind of stuff, and the ways that fan clubs in Korea have acted to magnify support for K-pop idols, and the practices of jogong, or giving tribute to idols, and how that has developed into donative practices for local and global causes in the name of the idol that reflects positively on idols. So in class, we're going to discuss K-pop fandom as it is being practiced in China and some of the complications for Chinese fans. And we're going to examine what fan studies of Chinese fans can teach us about China, because clearly fandom is not trivial. So to prepare you for discussion, I'm going to show you this short video, which introduces the crackdown on celebrity and fandom culture in China that began a few years ago.
China's celebrity industry is going through a huge reshuffle due to the government expanding its crackdown to ban film stars with incorrect politics. President Xi Jinping ordered sweeping action to clean up the entertainment industry, with the broadcast regulator moving to ban film stars with incorrect politics, cap salaries, and rein in celebrity fan culture. This celebrity and fan club's crackdown action began with Chinese actress Zheng Shuang probed for tax fraud after alleged $24.6 million payday for a single show. And it ended up with China ordered Zheng Shuang to pay 299 million yuan, $46 million, in fines, taxes and penalties for tax evasion. The action was interpreted as part of actions to enhance regulation of the high-earning entertainment industry, and several entertainers who have violated the law or have moral taints were not allowed spotlight and got their works removed from online platforms. Among them were Chinese billionaire actress Zhao Wei, Chinese-Canadian pop idol Chris Wu, who was detained by Beijing police for suspected rape, and actor Zhang, who came under fire for visiting Japan's notorious Yasukuni Shrine, and TV host Qian Feng, who was accused of rape, with the case still in investigations. Along with the celebrity crackdown action, the Chinese government has also taken a series of steps into rein in celebrity worship and fan clubs. The Cyberspace Administration of China banned the ranking of celebrities by popularity. The authority called for greater regulation of what it called the chaos of fan clubs. Fanchuan, literally meaning fan circles, are highly organized groups of passionate, loyal fans who voluntarily use their time, money and expertise to make their idols, usually budding pop singers or actors, as popular and influential as possible. According to Chinese state media, about 8% of China's 183 million underage netizens engaged in reputation-boosting activities for their idols in 2020. The official described the activity as dangerous to the minds of the youth because fan loyalty can turn blind and toxic, giving rise to online trolling, impulsive buying, rumor-mongering, cyberspace manhunts and other problems. Here is one example of the crazy fandom culture. When Chris Wu was detained on suspicion of rape, his fans tried to raise money for his legal costs. On social media, fans of Mr. Wu posted about and started chat groups promoting a rescue mission, apparently to help him escape detention.
I have a plan to save my brother.
A Weibo user wrote.
I watched Prison Break. I know how to do it.
To keep celebrities in line, the authorities have also been swift to demonstrate how easily they can essentially wipe a celebrity's presence off the internet. The erasures take place with seemingly little or no recourse and sometimes no apparent reason, as was the case for the top actress Ms. Zhao, whose work got wiped out and banned overnight.